Welcome to Mystics in the Hall. What's up, guys? It's been a minute. I had recorded a whole thing about just a moment ago, but I realized I missed so many steps in it. So I'm going to record this again and hoping I don't miss anything. I'm going to give you all the clairs at once. I had recorded a video a few months ago about I believe it was claircognizance. And I realized I wasn't happy with that because I felt like I was editing myself too much. And then I went on Kill Tony. If you don't know what Kill Tony is, that is a big thing in the comedian or comic world. It's a podcast with Tony Hinchcliffe. I went on there, episode 763, if you want to see it. And after that, I was inundated with certain types of energy that I really had to go through and experience and kind of digest. And so now I'm back. Now I'm back. I'm in the driver's seat again, and I want to finish what I started with the clairs, but I'm going to eventually delete the other video and keep this one up because I felt like I was editing myself too much, and I really don't want to do that. I want to be as authentic as possible with you all, and so that means I'm not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. That's really all I have to say about that. I will say a couple of things when it involves the clairs. Trust your imagination. Your imagination is one step closer to the divine and to the quantum field. Everything is possible within there. That is why there are so many stories about different things people see. And if you change your reality and you keep your mind open to it, if you truly want to go down a certain path, then you will experience everything you want to experience. And obviously, protect yourself, be aware. Before doing any of the exercises that it's probably like one or two exercises I'm going to provide for you, ground yourself into Mother Earth. And that could mean anything. That could mean go outside, put your feet in the ground. That could mean you envision roots coming up from Mother Earth and grabbing your feet. That could be what I do, which is I envision like an HVAC tube from the center of Earth wrapping tightly around, like creating a sealant around my hips and my first chakra, which is usually called the root chakra. And so that all the energy that isn't mine drains out of me. And then I envision my aura, which is a foot around me, being tucked into that HVAC so that it too gets drained. That way I become like a clear channel for whatever information needs to come to me. And I have other methods that I keep myself protected. But no, this is the one thing. You have to know that you are divinely protected at all times. People don't realize that if there is any crack in that belief system, that is how other things get access to you. It's because you allowed it. It is not because some other thing is stronger than you. You are probably the most powerful entity in this plane of existence. Why? Because we were able to get within a physical body. So just know that. Everything is a sovereign being, okay? And we'll get into other things like aliens and things like that because I've had my own experiences, and I wanted to finish the clairs first before going down that route with that story time. So, and there's nothing to fear, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. The divine is around you and within you. You are just as powerful as the creator, the source, supreme being, whatever you want to call it, okay? So keep that in mind when doing any of this stuff. Fear should not be involved in any of your practices whatsoever. That is what leads to room for other things to enter within your vicinity. So that's bottom line. First off, have a strong knowing of that, okay? And so we'll get into the clairs, and I'll talk to you about a couple of the other ones that aren't really talked about as much, but the main ones are going to be claircognizance, clairsentience, clair. I can't believe this is why I have my laptop over here so I don't forget. So claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and then a lot of people say clairgustance, and clairalience is smelling, clairgustance is tasting, but they tend to put those two together because of our factory network, how they're all in together. But the other ones are like clairempathy, clairtangency. Some people have clairkinesthesia, which is like receiving information through movement and body awareness. But to me, those are all kind of claircognizance and stuff. And then people have claircognizant dreaming, but I feel like that is prophetic stuff through like vivid dreams. I mean, you could be astral projecting or lucid dreaming, and a lot of the times we're on what we call the astral realm, and so you're going to have that. So clairvoyance is I see, clairaudience is I hear, clairsentience is I feel, and claircognizance is I know. Basically, the main practice that I'm going to tell you with being able to use all your clairs at once is have somebody provide you with a picture, okay? And in that picture, write down everything you see, hear, taste, smell. I mean, but ask yourself, like, is there a sound? Is there a color? Is what are they doing outside, like outside of the picture? What's in the vicinity? These are also practice for remote viewing. So people don't understand that. They think they have to go through these steps that were provided by the CIA and other operatives that they created. But the trick is that really we have access to the quantum field at any time. The remote view space is just that. If you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, I suggest you do, especially if you are even high functioning or divergent or have ADHD. I believe, and this was even before I listened to the telepathy tapes, they're only just proving it to be true. And this is with not as high functioning people with autism. These are like nonverbal people, but they're proving that they have access to this space at all times. And I believe that even high functioning, specifically women, we tend to mask a lot. I mean, my sister and I didn't come to this conclusion of that we didn't even realize neurodivergency was a form of autism, you know? But I do believe that, especially if you're a creative individual with the arts of some sort, music, painting, any kind of creative process, you are reaching out into the quantum field. That is a form of channeling, just so you know. Okay, so let's go back to, there's also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but there's also tangency, which is a very cool one, also known as psychometry. That's when you pick up items and you can kind of get a story from them and energy. That's not saying the item is haunted. That is just saying that there's residual energy within the item. Everything here has a consciousness. Now, the levels of consciousness are different. Plants may have a higher consciousness than rocks, but they still can each tell you a story. We're already proving that water is sentient. And so that is a whole nother thing. And our body is made up of water. Quantum physics have already proven that atoms have a consciousness. That's why when we perceive them, they will do what we think they're going to do. But when we're not perceiving them, they've been proven to do what they want to do at any given moment. So if our body, if everything is made up of an atom, what does that mean about their consciousness, right? Anyway, that's a whole nother lane, but so I want you guys to basically, and specifically too, like with clairaudience, if you want to develop that more, especially if you're a musician, just sit outside. I don't know how much you can hear off of my microphone, but just sitting outside, I can hear people's ACs. I can hear multiple different type of birds. I can hear locusts going. I can hear my chimes. I can hear something moving in somebody else's backyard. And I guarantee once you start going level by level by level, eventually you're going to hear your own frequency. You may even hear your own heartbeat, your own breathing. And then eventually you'll hear the frequency of the earth. And so all of these things combined will, over time with practice, increase your clairs. And we're using them all at once all the time. I will tell you, your body is the biggest barometer for something to going on. A lot of us do not listen to our bodies. And that, I think, is a huge thing that has been like kind of pushed on us with all these distractions with phones and media and just divisive stuff that has been presented to us. I can guarantee there have been moments in your life where you've met people and your body out of nowhere has a reaction to this person. Listen to that reaction. Obviously, you don't want to, you have to learn how to discern whether it's your mind or your body responding. If you had no thought before your body had this weird reaction, listen to it, ask it, why? And listen to the answers. And I know a lot of times people think, oh, it's my imagination. And a lot of times you're going to hear your voice speak back to you. Do not discount it. And even if you're concerned or you're not sure, write it down. Maybe later on, those bits of information that come to you will make sense later. And you will start to learn to trust yourself in this process of building your clairs up. Because a lot of the times in the beginning, we want to validate our experiences, and that does bring confidence. You know, that will bring confidence to yourself, but eventually you're going to have to let go of the validation. You're going to have to just know. So remember, we are all sparks of the divine, the creator, the supreme being, whatever you want to call it. We have the same abilities. I'm sure you've heard God is within you and all around you, or creation's within you and all around you. Truer words have never been spoken. And remember, as above, so below. This is just one dimension. Physicists have proven there are multiple dimensions. So the more you interact with trying to reach a higher dimension, raise your vibration, the more you will be able to interact with anything. But again, keep in mind, you are always protected. Any false doubt leaves room for other things to occur. And you have a spirit team. You can talk to them as well. I can get that into another video of people's beliefs on how spirit team works. I can talk about my own. But just know that you have a higher self. We have the supreme being, the divine source, the creator, always available to us. Okay? And nothing can harm you. Keep that in mind. Nothing can harm you unless you allow it. Ground first. Practice these things for at least a week consistently. Keep a journal. Keep a journal. And if you don't do consistently, keep at it. Keep at it. And if you need a community that you want to practice this with, again, I'm part of a community called Metaphysical You. You can go to metaphysicalu.com and you can join us every Wednesday night for free. These are group development classes for people who are not, you don't have to be a paid student or anything like that. And you can come every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. Pacific time. And now we have people outside of the US that come and hang out with us. So I don't know the time differences on that, but we do have a lot of people from like Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Finland. So we have people from all over the world that join us. I do believe too we're going to open up Saturdays specifically too for our international members, because like we have Saturday classes right now, but I think they're only open up to international people because they cannot join us sometimes on our Wednesday night calls because of such the big time difference, and some people aren't available in the afternoon because sometimes that's when it is. I don't know exact because it depends where you're at. But so if you are one of those students that would like to join on a Saturday, message me or try to join on a Wednesday night or message the website, okay? You have to become a member on the site, which is free, by the way. It's just free. And then you'll have access to the link. Let me know. I hope this works for you. Let me know how it works out. Again, in my next videos, I'm going to start talking about my UAP, UFO, extraterrestrial, interdimensional being experiences, because there too, I have been given the message that people need to stop being fearful of that as well. Okay? So peace and love to you guys. And I hope to see you on the next one.